Welcome to Rob's Path. I'm Rob. Today we're back with our bin number 3 with a little twist. Bin number 3 is getting a major upgrade. What we're going to do is we're going to sift her out and then we're going to transfer her to the new, much bigger bin. And with that, it's been 15 days since last check-in, 20.39 ounces. So that's where we're at. Let's get started. Now we can definitely see already the feeding zone is empty. And we didn't eat any of the newspaper, and it's looking good everywhere. So let's go ahead and sift her out. And we know we're not going to get a lot here because of it being very wet and not dried down. But that's just one big clump. Alright, we're changing plans on the fly here. We're not going to sift it out. That's way too wet. It's one big block in there. So, in real time, we're changing tunes. We'll be back with a new setup at our new bin. Today we're setting up our new bin 3. Ever since we've decided to turn that into a full-time one, we've been looking for something to upgrade to. And my son just happened to be throwing away this perfectly good container. Used to have dog food in it. No longer has the dog, so he was going to throw it away. And it's a little beat up here and there. As you can see, it's got some cracks and such. That's not going to affect me and what I want to do with it. So, let's get with it. First things first, I'm going to take one of our good friends, the coffee cup carrier, or the cup carrier. We're going to toss that right down in the bottom there. Just for something to give them a little air and a little space for things to aerate good. Also going to throw a couple of popsicle sticks in here just because, well, they were laying there. So and then we're going to take and we're going to put some of my horse manure mix on top of it. Okay, now what we have here is a combination of a lot of different things. Some soil, some horse manure, aged horse manure, paper. When I said soil, I meant potting soil. Sorry about that. Some hay, a little bit of wood chippings, and that's about it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to throw them in a good scooping of our grit mix just to start things off on the right foot right here. Nice, generous. Okay, that should set them up for a good start there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little bin that we took out when we of our last separation castings, this harvest we took out of our last harvest, and we're going to add that into here. That'll get it some worms to start off with. And then we're going to throw that in there just because it was on top of the bin. Okay. Now this bin I already gave some food to a while ago. And there's a bunch of worms in here. I don't know exactly how many. Don't see anybody around at the second here. But I know there's worms in there. Oh, there they are at the bottom. At the very bottom they are. Let me put a glove back on. I'll clean this out anyway. Not a lot of worms, but there's a handful in there. They'll start getting things all nice and ready for the next team to show up. And that'll be in about 3 days. We check on bin number 3 again, and at that time, not only will we do a feed-in, but we're going to rotate them into this new bed. Well, we'll stick with this piece of paper here. It was off the other bin. Actually, we should probably give it a little bit of moisture. This is our mosquito dunk swatter. You don't want to get carried away because they're going to start getting fed. And they'll have more moisture than they know what to do with here. We're just getting them wet for now. Okay, and now what we're going to do, instead of our traditional plastic, I have this packing bag, and I'm just going to put that in here because I think that'd be just perfect for them. I'll tuck that right down in there. And I don't know if we're going to need plastic on here, but for now we're not going to use plastic because we have a cover. And it's been my experience in this area of upstate New York, we have a pretty good humidity at all times. So putting a cover on of any kind, I don't put them on my other bins because they just get too wet. They hold too much moisture all the time. So that's why I use the plastic covers instead of container tops. But this one's got a container top already hooked to it. So we're just going to run with it and see what happens. We can modify later. Alright, we will be back in about 3 days. Okay, here we are at our new bin. Didn't go exactly as we planned. We were going to sift that out. Take what castings we could, but it's way too wet. Way too wet. So, we'll just put them in here and run with it. Now, I've been throwing some extras in here. My worm chow bucket has been covered for a few days because this has been here. So I've just been tossing on my extras. So some popcorn or popsicle sticks and some coffee grounds. I use the pods. When I eat my bagels at night, they have a bunch of seeds on them, so all the seeds go in there. So that's all been added in there since the other video you're going to see, the other clip you're going to see of setting this up. The only thing added since that clip was these few little things. Oh, look at the wormies. Way more wormies than I thought they were in there. Looking awesome. Let me get a pair of gloves. Very nice. Getting awful wet, but that's okay. Got a bunch of wormies there. All the nice wormies. Look at all the nice wormies. I'm so happy. They're looking awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now we're gonna clean out the bin. Looks like we got most everything out. I do not see anybody left behind so far. Alright, I think bin 3 has successfully been transitioned. What we will do is we'll set this over here into our bin 1. I'll set it down after the video. I'll set it down into my bin 1, and that way if any stragglers are in there, they will find their way out. Very nice. Look at this. Very, 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 very nice. Probably gonna have to clean some of that up sometime. But right now, we're looking good. And that's very nice. Very, very, very nice. Very happy with what we got going on here. Don't need to mix it up, but I'm going to anyway. Just the top layer or so, the bottom layer should be good to go. Alright, this is sweet. This looks really, really good. It smells really, really good. And that's where we're at for that right now. Now we're gonna go and get some food. We're gonna run about the same as what we had before, about 20 ounces. And we'll be right back. Okay, we went with about 22.28 ounces of food. A little bit of pumpkin and herbs, some romaine lettuce. I think this is like asparagus or something like that. I don't know. I don't eat this stuff. This is my wife. We had a birthday party for the kids, and that was some of the stuff that they put out that people eat. I don't know. I don't eat this. Again, I don't eat that stuff. But we're just gonna put this on top. I don't know why I've decided to do it this way, but I have. Just to try something different. Nice banana peel. We got an apple quarter. And yeah, some cucumber slicings. So yeah, they're nice little meal. That should make them very happy. And then we're just going to throw some grit in there, and we're going to put a good sized amount of grit in it. Just because it's a new bin. And yes, I already gave it some in the beginning of the bin, but I don't mind having a little extra. Alright, that looks good. And again, we had a good one. We didn't eat a whole lot last time. Well, I mean, we did, but we didn't eat the newspaper and all that, so we're not going to really stress about that. We did add a handful more worms in there, but only a handful, so we are not going to get carried away with feeding them. They should be more than happy what they have, and that should keep them very, very full for a little while. I'm gonna rip up some of our caddy here, toss that in, and then we're gonna follow it off. Top it all off with our more shred, and that'll be its first feed in of the new number 3 bigger bin. I don't know exactly what size it is, but I'm going to say it's probably around the size of my other one. Different configuration, but I'm going to say it's probably in that 18-gallon range. give or take. And again, I don't know that for sure. That's a guess. There was no stickers or anything on it to tell me exactly what that was. So that's all right. And now we're going to top it off with a little more shredded paper. All right, let's top her off just to make sure the buggies don't get in there. And we are good with this bin for another 14 or so days. Looking great. They've got a nice smorgasbord of all kinds of food. Fresh shred. They should be good and set up for a good start to their new little bin. Or new big bin. Not little. Then we're just gonna cover her back up with our newspapers. As always, we got some newspaper here that we took off it from last time. We'll cover her back up with. And that, my friends, is another check-in on bin number 3. And bin number 3 got a great, nice, big upgrade. And we will see you next time. Until then, no matter what you're trying to accomplish, overcome, or do, take it one day at a time. You can't help but win. Take it easy, y'all.